peace. Yes, y'all. It's your boy Dom Plutonian back at it again with another video I like to call Chapter 1 Yang Principle. Now, the last video we did the Yin Principle, but now it's time to talk about the Yang Principle. So, what is the Yang Principle? Yang is the sun. Yang is solar energy. Yang is pushing out, exterior, strength. Leo is ruled by the sun. We're gonna get into all the different zodiac signs at some point, but I'm gonna stay on topic. But it still correlate. The Leo signs still correlate with the sun, right? The Yang principle. So what does the sun does? What does Yang energy does? It pushes out, it creates. It is the center of the universe. So, and I gotta speak for my men, because it's Yang energy, it's masculine energy, divine masculine energy. But, you know, both men and women have masculine and feminine energy, yin and yang, right? But I gotta speak to my man, right? So, if you are the sun, right, which means you're the Yang principle, right? What does the sun do? The sun sits there and it lets everything else orbits around it, right? So imagine your life as a chessboard, right? You're the king. All the other pieces, the queen, pawn, bishop, rook, whatever, they all orbit around you, right? You have to make sure, because once you master the Yang principle, you have to make sure that you have a purpose. That's the only way you can master the Yang principle. Once you have a purpose, you know exactly what planets to put here, there, everywhere. Chessboard, chessboard pieces. Bishop, rook, king, queen. You know where to place them. And they serve a very important purpose within your purpose that God has you on, right? You see what I'm saying? And you shouldn't let anything orbit around you that does not serve your higher purpose. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. If your life is like a video game, right? And you pick a side mission to do, that's fine, but does it really serve the main cause that God has, the main mission that God has you on? No. That's not serving, that's not being in the Yang principle, that's more Yin energy. You're taking on that mission when you're supposed to be taking on the mission that God put you on, where the hierarchy is God, man, woman, and children. The Yang principle says, okay, let me listen to my higher self. What is my purpose? Okay, let me put people, places, things, circumstances, and situations in my life that orbits around me that can help me complete my purpose and my quest. That is the Yang principle. It's power, strength, structure, solid, stability, stable, practicality, consolidating, orchestrating. It orchestrates all the other planets, changing different signs, moving here, moving there, inner planets moving here, outer planets moving there, wherever it is, you know. That's Yang principle. That is the sun. All puns intended. The fucking sun. All puns intended. Real shit. But the Yang principle is you walking into the world with strength and power. That is a form of manifestation. Knowing that you already got what you want. And knowing when to let go when something has expired that does not serve the purpose anymore. Or isn't helping serve the purpose. You shouldn't even let anything in your gravitational pull as the yang principle that's not helping serve your higher cause and your higher purpose. Because we all living on borrowed time. Now I gotta talk to my men, man. Now, both men and women have yin and yang energy, which is the different principles. Like the last video I made for chapter 1 was the yin principle. But I have to talk to the men. Mainly with this video. I mainly got to. Your self-centeredness. Because the sun is motherfucking centered. The yang principle is centered. The yang principle is centered. The yang principle is centered in itself. That's why the sun doesn't really move. It does move. It moves signs. It changes different signs every month. But it doesn't move like certain other planets. And then you got the outer planets that move. They barely move, but they move. But when they move, they make big moves. So who are the outer planets in your life? As the yang principle. You see what I'm saying? The outer planets should be the queen on the chessboard, for real. But who is that queen? And you gotta choose wisely. Because just because it looks pretty doesn't mean it's a queen. Does it serve the higher purpose that God has you on? Or will that shit take you straight to hell? Pick one. It's all black and white. Ain't really no gray area. Real shit. But, like I said, the yang principle is strength. Exuding yourself. You know? It's not you taking in, it's you pushing out forcefully. When you walk into a building, pilot senses start tingling. Spider senses start tingling. Whatever the fuck you want to call it. Their inner GPS start working. They know, damn, he walk like he owned that building. She walk like she owned that building. Because like I said, the yang principle is within men and women, but men are supposed to have more yang energy than yin, and women are supposed to have more yin energy than yang. And see, that's why the world is so fucked up now, because it's a disimbalance of energies. And it's too many men down here that has more yang energy. They're more in their yang energy, which is feminine energy, than they are they're more in their yin energy, which is feminine energy, than they are their yang energy. And a lot of these women are more in their yang energy than they are their yin energy. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's such an imbalance. So I'm really talking to the men right now. You need to carry more yang than you do yin. Have emotional intelligence, yin. Have emotional intelligence, yin. Have emotional intelligence, yin. But you need to have more percentage level of yang energy as a man. How you have that gravitational pull. You walk in that building as if it's your building, even if it's not your building. At some point in life, you're going to walk in a building that's actually going to be fucking yours. Yang energy is thoughts. It's your thought forms. What are thought forms? The yang principle. What are you thinking? What are you feeding your mind? Are you feeding your mind positive energy? Are you feeding your mind positivity? Are you listening to positive things? Are you listening to negative shit? What do you want to attract? What do you want to gravitational pull within you being the center of your universe, the sun, the yang principle? What type of thoughts you want to have? Negative thoughts or positive thoughts? Pick one. You can only choose one. You see what I'm saying? Think of yourself as the best version of yourself. And then take the steps to being the best version of yourself. That is the Yang principle. Taking fucking action. Not procrastination. Not in your feeling bag like a little bitch. It's taking fucking action. Standing on what you're saying and believing what you're saying. Mentality, mindset, your thought forms. And walking into that. Exuding that power. Yang principle. You say you're a God, but do you really believe that you're a God? Are you walking like a God? Are you moving like a God? Honestly, Yang principle. May you shine bright. And if people, demons can't handle it or their insecurities can't handle it, so fucking what? You are the Yang principle. Bitch, I am the truth. You did? I am the light. There's no conning. This is the real. And you have to respect it. Or you can get the fuck on. That's the Yang principle. Building, protection, provision, providing. Yang principle. Structure. Stoicism. The Yang principle. Imagine the sun evolving around the moon. That's what's going on, really. If you really want to think about it. That's why it's such a fucking imbalance. And the moon trying to be the sun. What I mean is, like I said, Yang is masculinity. Yin is feminine energy. Sun, moon. We all have a sun and a moon. I'm a Pisces sun, Gemini moon. My masculine and feminine energies. How do those merge together? That's a square, right? And we're going to get into that, but scratch that. I'm going to do a different example. Sun, moon, right? Yang, sun, moon, yin. Okay. If women are yin energy and they're the moon, they mainly supposed to exude more yin energy, right? Because they're moon, it's emotions. Because women are emotional creatures, right? And like I said, they track their periods on the moon cycles a lot. So a lot of women do that. Believe it or not, it's true. Yang principle. All men are supposed to exude more yang energy, right? But the imbalance is most men are on the yin side and most women are on the yang side. So now the moon is trying to be the sun and the sun trying to be the moon. So it's confusion. And that's why there's so much confusion in the world now. How do you reach back to your Yang principle of divinity as a man? Follow those steps that I just said. Yang principle. And then start with self-love. Self-mastery. At least to a certain extent. How can you exude more yang energy? Focus on your purpose, your mission, passion, purpose. The mission, passion, purpose that your higher self has you on. Don't break center. Always think positive. Sometimes you have to put your emotions aside, the yin principle. and be more yang. And then everything that needs to be there will orbit around you at some point. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This is chapter 1. Yang Principle. I'm out. I'll be back, y'all. Peace. This your boy Dom Plutonian.